Hi, I'm Dr. Adrian Cohen from HeadSafe, the concussion charity, and we're here at Sydney Eye Hospital to talk about the King-Devick test and discuss how to use it in your concussion management program. Unlike other tests which require a doctor, expensive equipment or are confusing, the King-Devick test is a more accurate, reliable and accessible method of testing people for concussion. It's been in use for more than 30 years and has been extensively validated in the medical literature and by the world-renowned Mayo Clinic. The King-Devick test is a visual test based on measurement of eye movement. It tests the speed with which the subject can rapidly read and say out loud a series of single-digit numbers. As the visual pathways represent so much of the brain's activity, changes in visual response following concussion are a good objective measurement of altered brain function. Standardized instructions are used for consistency, and the test requires less than 2 minutes in most cases. It's an easy-to-administer screening tool and can be utilised by sports trainers and healthcare professionals, such as doctors and physiotherapists, both in the office and at the sporting field. It can be used with children as young as 5, and you can log into your King-Devick test online system account to manage data for comparison and reference. To use the King-Devick test, you must first download the app from the iTunes store, and it can only be used on a full-sized iPad, not the iPad mini or iPhone. The King-Devick test app is also available for 10.1-inch Android tablets with minimum system requirements. If this is your first time using the app, you'll be prompted to register with an email and password. This will be the same login information you'll use to access the King-Devick test online system from a computer. After registering, the app will automatically synchronize with the King-Devick test online system, but only when an internet connection is able to safely and securely connect. If you don't have an internet connection, the data is stored on your device until you're back in range. You can also get video and written help files directly from the app if you ever get stuck. With initial testing of a subject, you will need to establish what is called a baseline test score. This should be done annually. First, launch the King-Devick test app on the device. You'll be prompted to add the subject's name, date of birth and to note whether they wear contact lenses or glasses. If they do, they should use these for the test. Then select Done. The subject should be asked if they have ever had reading difficulties, and if so, that should be noted on the comments section after the subject completes the test. In addition, the subject should be asked if they've ever had a concussion, and any concussion history should also be noted in the comments section. The subject can stand or be seated in a well-lit area and should hold the iPad horizontally at a comfortable reading distance. First, explain that a timer will start automatically after the initial demonstration screen. And tell the subject that the timer does not continue during the blank screens between the numbered cards. Tell the subject that as soon as the final number on each test card is read aloud, you will tap the screen. When you're ready, select Start Test 1 and hand the device to the subject. There are actually 3 different variations of the King-Devick test, and it doesn't matter which one you choose. The subject then selects Start Test, leading them to the demonstration card. Now explain that the numbers should be read aloud, following the lines on the demonstration card from left to right and then immediately to the next line. You should emphasize that they should read the numbers as fast as they can without making any errors, and that if they do make an error, they should correct it as quickly as possible. Tell the subject not to use their hands or fingers on the screen to help follow the number pattern. When the explanations are complete, ask whether there are any questions. When all is in readiness for the timed test to begin, tap the tablet screen to continue to test card 1, and the subject should begin reading the numbers immediately. Timing will automatically begin. You should count any errors on the test to yourself and record this later. Once the subject has read the last number on test card 1, you should tap the tablet screen. Test card 1 is now complete, and timing has been paused until the subject is ready to begin test card 2. Ask whether they're ready to continue, and then tap the screen to begin test card 2, and repeat the process. When test card 2 is completed, there's another untimed pause card, and then the process should be repeated for test card 3. When test card 3 is done, a total time for all 3 cards will automatically be stored. The test should then be repeated in its entirety, and the best baseline time of the 2 tests without errors will be automatically recorded. The subject hands the device back, and now you fill in your initials, the number of errors, and add to the comments section as necessary. So how exactly does the King-Devick test work? Vision alone accounts for over 50% of the brain's active pathways, and here we see them as a subject is being tested. When you incorporate the coordination of efficient and accurate eye movements from target to target, recognizing and calling the numbers aloud, which requires attention, concentration, memory and language components, you can see that there are many more areas of the brain that are involved in the King-Devick test task. For evaluating a suspected concussion, repeat testing is needed. The idea is to compare the King-Devick test time and errors after injury to the player's annually established baseline score. On the screen, select Post-Injury Tests. When the subject is retested after a suspected concussion, the test should only be administered once in the manner already described. The time taken for the test will automatically be recorded, and any errors made should be noted by you. If the subject has a time which is slower than their previous baseline score, or has any errors, they should be referred to a healthcare professional for additional evaluation. Even 1 second slower on the test is considered significant. Please note that if the subject performs faster without errors on the post-injury test, the fastest test score will become the subject's new baseline score. In determining if a person is ready for return to normal activity, work, school, and to play their sport, they should be free of all symptoms, both at rest and when exercising. They should not be taking any medication used to treat their concussion and must have observed any mandatory rest period for their chosen sport and been through a stepwise return to play process. As a final determinant, their King-Devick test time should be the same or even faster than their previous attempts, which are recorded on the data log for the player. And of course, no errors are allowed on the test. Please note that this test is for screening purposes only, and any suspicion or indication of concussion should be evaluated by a medical professional. I hope you found that helpful. There's lots more information on our website where you'll find published studies on the King-Devick test. Make it part of your concussion management program.